who want to be athletes and stuff. My advice to them is don't be afraid to be different. Boxing and even being a person who's in sports, being a young girl, is kind of still looked at as abnormal, even though we have women's sports kind of reigning right now. You just have to not let people opinions of what you should be doing take over your mind. You know, like I said, when I was boxing, everybody called me crazy, especially at the age of 11. So my advice to all the girls is don't be afraid to be different. Listen to your heart. You know, follow your dreams. And if the fire inside of you is burning about something, it's burning for you for a reason, and you need to follow that path.
One of the young ladies who's following your path is now trying for a gold medal in Paris, Morel McCain.
Yes.
She said recently on one of her posts that there will never be another GOAT, that you're the best that's ever done it, and all she needs to do is try to be in the shadow of that. When you hear that from someone who is trying to win a gold medal, and you know you've done it twice, and yet they say that you are the one, and they say that they want to be in your shadow, that's respect, but at the same time, that's exactly what he's talking about, the inspiration of others who want to be like you. Mm-hmm. Not like Mike, but like you.
Mm-hmm.
Claressa, this is Kiana Banks from Kita Sports. I really just wanted to ask, right, as a black woman, having that vision that's instilled in you of something that you've never really seen, what were your steps that you took to really manifest that and allow God to expand your territory?
Honestly, so many things that happened to me in boxing that I really couldn't explain. They told me I was too young to go to the first Olympics 2012. And I seen the paperwork, and the paperwork said I was too young, and I was about to quit boxing and never box again because the situation I was in, you know, being poor and being broke, and that's not me not having no bed and us not having no food. I just was like, I can't live 4 more years like this. So if boxing ain't paying me no money, I'm about to quit, and I'm gonna give me a job. But I remember talking, I prayed to God. I said, God, I'm not asking you to give me an easy route. I'm asking you to give me a chance to fight against these older women. Because I was 16 at the time when I started my Olympic journey. And I said, all I'm asking for is just a chance. You know, I don't want you to, you know, make it easy for me. Like, I'll go out there and I'll fight. And I'll do my best against these girls because they're bigger, they're stronger, and they're older with more experience. But I don't want to be discriminated against because of my age. And when I said that prayer, it wasn't nobody but God who changed the paperwork. You know, first I was 6 months too young, and then all of a sudden, my coach called me when I was at school in computer class. He said, go to this website and print out this paper. And I printed it out, and I said, what's this? He said, we're going to the PAL. I said, yeah, but we're going at the age 16. Like, we're not going at 17 through 41. He said, read it. And I read it, and it said, I had to be 17 by, April 27th, by the next year. And my birthday was March 17th. So I was a month and maybe like 7 days old enough where I just made the deadline. So I printed out like 10 of them papers, and I ran all around the school, and I kept telling everybody to read it. And they was like, what that mean? I said, I'm going to the Olympics, that's what it means. And so I started my journey, and I started fighting, and all the odds was against me, you know, and it's not even, I don't know, you know, Jeremiah 29:11, for I, God, know the plans I have for you, plans to give you hope in the future, plans for you to prosper. And it don't say to give you, like, for you to prosper right now. It say in the future, you know. So what I was going through right at that time, it may have felt like it was terrible, but God was just like, for I, God, know the plans I have for you, plans to give you hope and give you a better future. So it was like, I'm looking forward to the future. I can't focus on where I'm at right now. You know, so I fought through those tournaments without a bed and without having food and stuff. But, you know, God made it easy for me to deal with. And it instilled a lot of grit in me. And it taught me that, look, ain't nobody going to take care of you. Like, you got to take care of yourself. And you got to take care of your brothers and your sisters. And you're going to be the one. So I put all my hard work and all my heart into boxing, and I just trusted that God would be with me. And I lost my first fight right before I went to the Olympics. I was 26-1, and many people in here don't know what it's like to be undefeated and lose at something. But I was undefeated. I had to beat everybody, and I lost. And it's so crazy. I had won all these fights in the amateurs, but then when I got back home and lost at the world championships by it was a close fight too. All everybody kept talking about was how I lost. And so it was like, forget my 26 wins, we gonna talk about this one loss, so I just remember, it's another thing in the Bible when it say God knows your heart. God knew that I wanted to be Olympic champion. Now you gotta be specific with your prayers. I didn't say I wanted to be undefeated on my way to being an Olympic champion. Like, I've come to terms with that. Like, I didn't say that. I said, God, I wanna go to the Olympics and I wanna win a gold medal. I didn't say I wanted to be undefeated on the way to doing that. So the loss made me so mad and hurt my feelings so much that when I got back in the gym, I didn't even talk. It was like I went from running 2 miles every day to running 4 miles one day, 6 miles the next, and I would alternate. And I would run on Sunday after I got done from church, and I would just sit in church and just cry because I was so mad. And then I got to go to school with everybody talking about, oh yeah, you lost the fight, and I had to ignore them and just kind of like keep watching the fight over and over again. Like, how did I lose this fight? Never feeling like I lost, but my relationship with God, I can go on and on, but my relationship with God, he told me, like, you needed this loss. As bad as it hurt me, he told me I needed it, so when God tell you need something, of course you don't understand until you get to the end goal, but when he told me I needed that loss, I said, how? Why? And then once I won the Olympics, God came to talk to me again. He said, because you weren't working hard enough. Had you won the world championships, because I beat her in that fight, but they gave it to her. God let me know, had I gave you that fight, you would have got a bronze medal at the Olympics. You asked me to get a gold medal. So I needed you to push harder and do more. So I have come to terms with that. And I just know that now I don't underestimate nobody. I work extremely hard, and I push myself to the limits. And that's just how you just gotta trust the process and trust God. Like, it may not make sense to you, but it definitely makes sense to the man upstairs.
All right, last question,
What's
guys.
going on,
Let
Rissa?
Claressa go and enjoy.
This
What's
is
up?
Caro.